Hello, welcome to Live's channel. Today we will learn about the explosive developments unfolding in Salem on Friday, October 17th, as multiple residents find themselves navigating romance, deception, and a desperate search for answers. Steve and Kayla's romantic reconnection. Steve Johnson and Kayla Johnson are finally carving out precious time for themselves amid the constant chaos that typically engulfs Salem. Both seasoned medical professionals have synchronized their schedules to ensure they both have the entire day off from their demanding careers at University Hospital. This rare opportunity allows the beloved super couple to focus exclusively on nurturing their enduring relationship and rekindling the passionate spark that has sustained them through decades of adversity. The couple plans to spend quality time together, reminiscing about their remarkable journey from their unconventional beginning in 1986 when Steve was initially hired to terrorize Kayla, only for them to develop an unbreakable bond that transformed into one of daytime television's most iconic love stories. Their dedication to maintaining their connection serves as a powerful reminder that even the strongest relationships require intentional effort and undivided attention. Steve and Kayla understand that in a town as turbulent as Salem, where danger and drama lurk around every corner, protecting their marriage means prioritizing each other and creating moments of intimacy away from the constant crises. Stephanie and Alex navigate multiple threats. The relationship between Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kyriakis remains stable and strong, but the couple faces mounting pressure from several different directions. Alex will likely provide Stephanie with a detailed update regarding his recent confrontational encounter with Jeremy Horton at the Brady pub, where he delivered an unmistakable warning for Jeremy to keep his distance from Stephanie. Alex made his position crystal clear during that tense meeting, insisting that Jeremy needs to stay away from Stephanie or face serious consequences. Jeremy appeared to understand the message and indicated his intention to comply with Alex's demand. However, given Salem's relatively compact geography and the tendency for former flames to cross paths repeatedly, Days of Our Lives spoilers strongly suggest there will inevitably be additional uncomfortable encounters between Jeremy and Stephanie as the storyline progresses. The real question remains whether Jeremy will honor his word, or if his past abusive tendencies will resurface when he recognizes autobiographical elements in Stephanie's steamy romance novel. Until those future confrontations materialize, Stephanie and Alex must contend with an even more immediate and potentially devastating crisis involving a different threat altogether. Leo Stark discovers Stephanie's secret identity. Leo Stark has uncovered the shocking truth that Stephanie Johnson is actually the mysterious author Anastasia Sands, the pseudonym behind the provocative romance novel, One Stormy Night. This revelation puts Stephanie in an extremely vulnerable position, as Leo is notorious throughout Salem for his scheming nature and his willingness to exploit sensitive information for his own benefit. Leo has every intention of confronting Stephanie directly and extracting a full confession about her secret identity, which he plans to use for a sensational story that could destroy her carefully cultivated professional reputation. Stephanie is understandably paranoid that this explosive information will become public knowledge and completely devastate her public relations career, which she has worked tirelessly to build. Beyond the professional ramifications, Stephanie would be absolutely mortified if the entire world discovered she authored such an explicitly racy novel filled with steamy scenes and passionate encounters. The situation becomes even more complicated because several other Salem residents have already figured out Stephanie's secret identity, including Philip Kyriakis, Jeremy Horton, her mother Kayla, and even E.J. DiMera. With so many people aware of the truth, the risk of exposure increases exponentially with each passing day. Stephanie and Alex recognize they need to develop a strategic plan immediately to prevent Leo from publishing his story and exposing Stephanie's carefully guarded secret to Salem's gossip-hungry population. The couple will work together collaboratively to devise a comprehensive strategy, and viewers should stay tuned to discover whether their efforts spell bad news for the persistent and troublesome Leo Stark. Holly and Tate launch their search mission. Holly Jonas and Tate Black are determined to take immediate action regarding the Sophia Choice situation, refusing to wait passively while she evades accountability. The young couple will embark on an urgent mission in Friday's episode, working together with a shared sense of purpose despite the recent strain on their relationship. Their primary objective is to locate Sophia as quickly as possible and confront her directly about all the manipulative lies she has told and the destructive schemes she has orchestrated. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Tate and Holly will join forces and combine their efforts in hopes of tracking down the elusive Sophia before she can disappear completely from Salem. The duo simply wants Sophia to provide them with honest explanations and legitimate answers about her behavior, allowing them to finally put this entire traumatic chapter behind them and move forward with their lives. Multiple people throughout Salem are desperately searching for Sophia Choi, the troubled young woman who made the decision to flee once she sensed the walls closing in around her and realized her carefully constructed web of deception was beginning to unravel. Sophia hastily packed her belongings, grabbed a sentimental stuffed animal for comfort, and quickly escaped from her parents' house before anyone could stop her. The critical question remains whether Sophia has actually left Salem entirely or if she is merely hiding somewhere within the town's boundaries. It is possible that Sophia wants to say a final goodbye to her baby before departing, which could mean the Hernandez house represents a logical starting point for Holly and Tate's search efforts. Viewers will have to watch closely to see if their collaborative investigative efforts yield results and whether they successfully locate Sophia. Brady and Johnny discuss Sophia's deception. Meanwhile, Johnny DiMera and Brady Black will convene for an intense conversation focused entirely on Sophia Choi and all the latest devastating developments in her complicated situation. Both men will take the opportunity to openly vent their frustrations about Sophia's extensive pattern of deception and all the tremendous chaos she has deliberately unleashed upon multiple innocent people. Johnny and Chanel still desperately want to proceed with adopting baby Tesoro, but they need Sophia to finally admit that she was the person who maliciously sabotaged their adoption chances as an act of revenge. Brady is particularly frustrated after being deceived about the paternity situation, especially since the DNA test definitively proved that Tate is not Tesoro's biological father, despite Sophia's previous claims suggesting otherwise. The revelation shocked Sophia as much as anyone else, leading many Salem residents to question whether her accusations were fabricated from the very beginning. During their discussion, Brady and Johnny will thoroughly analyze Sophia's manipulative actions, including how she stole Holly's phone to send incriminating photographs designed to destroy reputations and relationships. They will also discuss how Sophia sent an anonymous letter to Chanel as part of her elaborate scheme to prevent the adoption from moving forward. Both men recognize that while Sophia's actions are certainly reprehensible and have caused immense damage, the situation is far more complicated than it initially appears on the surface. The group hunting for Sophia, including Holly, Tate, Johnny, Chanel, and Brady, appears unified in their desire to confront her and express their collective outrage about her behavior. Their harsh attitudes and judgmental conduct throughout this ordeal may seem somewhat justified now that they have collectively decided to view Sophia as the primary villain in this tangled web of deceit. However, the reality is that Sophia is a troubled young woman dealing with extremely difficult circumstances, and her actions, while wrong, stem from desperation and poor judgment rather than pure malice. The escalating crisis around Sophia. Sophia Choi has pulled a complete vanishing act specifically because she knows with absolute certainty that the walls are rapidly closing in on her from all directions. As Sophia desperately tries to avoid facing the inevitable consequences of all her elaborate lies and underhanded dirty tricks, she made the split-second decision to pack a bag with essentials and bolt from her home. Sophia's pattern of deception includes lying about what she did with her baby, attempting to prevent Chanel and Johnny from adopting Tesoro through sabotage, stealing Holly's phone to send damaging photos, and making false claims about Tate being the father of her child. The truth about Sophia's baby secret is teetering on the verge of complete revelation after half of Salem began methodically putting together all the scattered pieces of evidence. Sophia has been strategically attempting to evade detection because she understands that once everything comes to light, she will face severe repercussions from multiple parties. Her elaborate scheme was specifically designed to destroy Holly's close bond with Tate while simultaneously sabotaging Johnny's future prospects with Chanel and derailing the adoption process entirely. However, Salem is never short on unpredictable wild cards who can completely upend even the most carefully orchestrated plans. Leo Stark, an experienced schemer who is intimately familiar with every dirty trick imaginable, has been conducting his own investigation into various Salem mysteries. His ongoing inquiries could potentially unravel Sophia's elaborate plan thread by thread, exposing every lie she has told. The real burning question facing Salem residents is whether Sophia will succeed in unleashing her scandal before Leo manages to expose her true intentions, or if her dangerous game will spectacularly backfire and permanently crown her as Salem's most reckless and destructive young villain. Friday's episode of Days of Our Lives promises intense drama as relationships are tested, secrets threaten to emerge, and the search for Sophia intensifies across Salem. The interconnected storylines highlight how one person's deceptive actions can create devastating ripple effects throughout an entire community, affecting innocent people and destroying trust between loved ones. Part 2. Thursday, October 16, 2025. Days of Our Lives. Will Alex let Jeremy go, or is trouble still brewing? It's a brand new day in Salem, and once again, love, ambition, and old wounds collide in a way only Days of Our Lives can deliver. Thursday's episode brought a mix of celebration, suspicion, and subtle tension between Alex and Stephanie. A reminder that even the happiest toasts can hide deep undercurrents of worry. A toast to success and trouble. The episode opens on a high note. Stephanie Johnson's writing career is soaring. Her new mystery novel is officially headed to the presses. Alex Kyriakis, ever the supportive and sometimes overprotective partner, is brimming with pride. With a broad grin and a glass of champagne in hand, he raises a toast to her incredible momentum. "Wow," he says with a chuckle. "You're turning out books faster than Stephen King." It's a light-hearted compliment, but behind his playful tone lies genuine admiration. Stephanie, glowing with satisfaction, humbly tries to brush it off, but her eyes reveal the pride of a woman who's finally finding her voice and purpose. Alex, always the businessman, sees an opportunity to take her career even further. He suggests she hold a book launch event at the upcoming grand reopening of Julie's Place, the iconic restaurant and gathering spot beloved by everyone in Salem. "Imagine it," Alex says with excitement. "Your novel debuting at Julie's. The whole town there to celebrate you." He tells her this could be the perfect springboard to elevate her career to the next level, turning her into one of Salem's most talked about authors. Stephanie laughs, touched by his enthusiasm, though part of her can't help but wonder if he's pushing just a bit too hard. The flowers in the trash. The celebratory mood takes an unexpected turn when Alex's eyes land on something odd. A bouquet of flowers sticking out of the trash bin. His cheerful expression fades. "What's this?" he asks, picking up the slightly wilted stems. Stephanie freezes for a split second, her voice quiet as she explains that Jeremy stopped by earlier. The name alone changes the atmosphere in the room. Jeremy, a name Alex does not like hearing, not after everything. Though Stephanie insists that the visit was nothing, that Jeremy just wanted to drop off flowers and say congratulations, Alex's protective instincts flare up instantly. His jaw tightens. If he shows up here again, Alex warns, his tone low and controlled, "he'll have to deal with me." Stephanie sighs, frustrated but patient. She knows this side of Alex, the side that can't stand to see someone from her past stirring up trouble. "It's not like that," she tells him, soft but firm. "It wasn't a big deal. Please don't make it one." There's a moment of silence between them, the air thick with unspoken tension. Alex takes a breath, visibly trying to calm himself down. He apologizes, dialing back the intensity. "You're right," he finally concedes, managing a small smile. "Let's just forget it." But forgetting is easier said than done. A forgotten dinner and a lingering unease. As if the universe itself wanted to remind Alex that not everything can be controlled. A sharp smell suddenly fills the room. Stephanie's nose wrinkles. "Alex, do you smell something burning?" His eyes go wide. He had completely forgotten the lasagna he was making for dinner. He rushes to the kitchen, but it's too late. Smoke rises as he opens the oven, and their romantic dinner is nothing but a crispy disaster. They both laugh it off at first. "Well," Alex jokes, "guess I'll have to run out and grab takeout before we set off the fire alarm." He grabs his coat, kisses Stephanie on the cheek, and heads for the door, promising to be right back. It seems like a harmless, everyday moment, but as the door closes behind him, something in Stephanie's expression changes. Her eyes drift back toward the trash can. The flowers, Jeremy's flowers, seem to stare back at her, a quiet reminder that maybe her day isn't over just yet. Slowly, she approaches them, her smile fading. A chill creeps over her as she picks up the bouquet again. For a moment, she just stands there, lost in thought. Did Jeremy really mean well by dropping by? Or was there something darker in his visit? A gust of wind rattles the window, and she flinches. The once cozy apartment now feels oddly quiet, too quiet. On instinct, she sets the flowers down and moves toward the door. With trembling fingers, she turns the lock, making sure it's secure. She exhales slowly, but even as she does, she can't shake the uneasy feeling crawling up her spine, when the past refuses to stay buried. While Stephanie tries to convince herself that Jeremy's appearance was harmless, Longtime Days of Our Lives fans know that Salem's past rarely stays in the past. Jeremy Horton has always been a complex figure. Charming yet impulsive, sometimes well-meaning, sometimes dangerously unpredictable. His sudden return, and his decision to show up at Stephanie's door, seems too coincidental to ignore. Is he trying to rekindle something that's long been over? Or is there another reason behind his visit, something Alex might be right to be wary of? Alex's reaction might seem overprotective to some, but his instincts have saved him and others before. He's been burned by trust more than once, and his love for Stephanie has made him fiercely defensive of her peace and safety. The question that now lingers is whether he can truly let Jeremy go, or whether jealousy and fear will drive a wedge between them just when Stephanie's career and their relationship is taking off. Dinner for 2 or 3. Meanwhile, outside, Alex picks up dinner, replaying their earlier conversation in his mind. He tells himself he's overreacting, that Stephanie is right. Jeremy's just an old friend, nothing more. Yet, deep down, something gnaws at him. He's seen that look on her face before, that slight hesitation, that flicker of discomfort she tries to hide. He grips the takeout bag a little tighter. He trusts Stephanie completely, but he doesn't trust Jeremy. Not for a second. Back home, Stephanie tries to distract herself by setting the table, lighting a candle, pretending everything is fine. But every creak in the floor, every sound from the hallway makes her glance toward the door. When the doorknob rattles slightly just once, she freezes. "Alex?" she calls out softly. No answer. The camera lingers on her anxious face. The faint sound of footsteps in the hall, and then, finally, the sound of Alex's key turning in the lock. The door opens, and the tension melts, for now. He smiles, holding up the takeout. Dinner is served. Stephanie forces a laugh, relieved but still shaken. "Perfect timing," she says. Yet as they sit down to eat, the flowers in the trash remain. A quiet, haunting reminder that someone else has already crossed the threshold once today.